Hey everyone, Romel here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this Vaydeer monitor riser. Vaydeer is a company that I came across on Amazon while I was looking for a monitor riser slash desk shelf, and the reason why I wanted one was to cover up this grommet hole. If you haven't seen my video on the progressive desk, I have that linked up here, but I touch on the grommet hole and how I don't really like holes in my desktop, and I would prefer if they weren't there, and I thought that the next best option instead of replacing the whole desktop was just to get something to cover it, and that's why I went looking for a monitor shelf. It also does give me a little bit more storage and cleans up my desk a little bit. Vaydeer is one of the brands that caught my eye because of what they offer in their monitor stands. I reached out to them asking if they'd be interested in collaborating on a video, and they sent over this two-tier monitor riser that has the built-in wireless charger as well as a 4-port USB hub. As always, just because they sent me a product to review, it's not going to change the way that I review a product. I'm always going to share my honest thoughts and opinions on it with you. If you are interested in the monitor riser or a different version of it, I'll have links in the description below. It retails for about $150 Canadian, but it does often go on sale for about $130. And if you don't need the charger or the USB hub, it does become a little bit cheaper. Those links will be affiliate links, and as always, when you use those, it does help out the channel, and I appreciate it and thank you. Anyways, let's get to the unboxing. Inside the box, you get the two legs. One has the USB hub. You have the two shelves. The top has the wireless charger, the screws, tools, and a power adapter. They do include some cable management clips as well. For the setup, it is pretty straightforward and doesn't require a lot of work. The top shelf slides into the legs, and once you have that, you flip it upside down, and you need to rest the middle section on the small edges, and you screw it in place with the screws and the Allen key provided. I was a little bit worried because one of the corners of my shelf was dented, and I wasn't sure if that was going to cause any problems sliding into the legs. Fortunately, it didn't, and it is also a pretty big dent, so I'm not sure if more padding or a thicker cardboard box would have helped prevent it from denting. I am using the wireless charger on the left-hand side, which means that this dent is facing backwards. If it was the other way around, I would have went for an exchange because it is a pretty big dent. Let's get into some of the features of the monitor riser and what drew me to this particularly. The main reason I was interested in this was because it had that built-in wireless charger as well as the USB hub. You can get the monitor riser without those, but I was thinking more about the convenience factor, and that's why I decided to go with the one with the built-in wireless charger. I haven't actually used a wireless charger before. I like the thought of being able to just place my phone down without having to plug it in, and it's charging throughout the day while I'm working and sitting at my desk. It's a lot more convenient than a cable. I don't have any other charger to compare it to. The only thing that I can say about this charger is that it does get pretty warm while it's charging from when it's really low battery. But besides that, when it's almost fully charged, it doesn't really get too hot. I haven't had any issues with the wireless charger itself. It works as intended, and I'm really happy with it. Right beside it is the 4-port USB hub, and it is what you would expect from a USB hub. It is USB 3.0, and you have one plug to go into your computer, and then all of the ports work as normal. The material of the shelves are aluminum and they are black. I think it looks really nice. It kind of has a matte finish to it. The legs are plastic. It does feel pretty sturdy, and you are able to fit two 27-inch monitors on top of this monitor stand. It does come with anti-slip feet, and it does the job and does not slip at all on my tabletop. The shelf itself measures in at about 38.5 inches wide, 8 inches deep, and 6.5 inches tall. This is the perfect size for my desk. The one thing that I would prefer is that if the legs weren't exactly to the edge of the shelf itself, the way I have my monitor arms mounted, I'm unable to push the shelf much further because it is blocked by the monitor arms. Some of the other shelves that I came across and have seen is the legs aren't all the way to the edge, but it has like a little bit of room, kind of like this, where I'd be able to fit the legs past the monitor arm, and then the edge is kind of just floating there. As you can see, I am using the 2-tier without the middle tier. I decided not to have the Mac Studio on top of the shelf because when I swing my monitor left and right, the Mac Studio would get in the way. So that's why I wanted it to sit underneath. The Go XLR also didn't fit in one of the compartments completely flush. It was a little bit tight and I don't really want it sitting right on top of the monitor arm because as you can see, when I have my ultra wide right there, it's really hard to access the sliders and the knobs of the Go X. I do have my iPad controllers, and I do put a bunch of my notebooks as well. When I'm not using my notebooks, they go on the top shelf, and on the bottom shelf, as you can see, I have the Mac Studio, the Stream Deck, and then the Go XLR. If I went with the single tier monitor riser, I don't think I would have been able to fit the Mac Studio underneath the monitor riser. So I'm pretty happy that I went with the 2-tier. It fulfilled its main goal of covering that grommet. As you can see, it's not there. I know I have stuff blocking it. I had the Go XLR and the speakers on top of it, but I could kind of still see it. But when I'm sitting and typing on my desk, I absolutely have no idea that a grommet's there. The biggest thing about a monitor riser, regardless of what you go with, is that it does free up a lot of your desk. Even though I'm using monitor arms, you can see that I am still using the monitor riser. If I didn't have this, my controller would just be on my desk, my iPad, and my notebook, and the pens as well. So it does give me a little bit more organization. It's really something to consider if you don't want to get monitor arms, but you want to get more desk space. I would highly recommend taking a look at a monitor riser, especially if you have a dual monitor setup with monitor legs. That takes up a lot of space, and just elevating it onto a riser gives you all of that desk space back underneath. And if you do decide to go with the Vaydeer, it does give you an extra shelf in the middle, so you do have a lot more space to work with. Overall, I'd recommend the Vaydeer monitor riser if you are looking for a monitor riser that offers more than just being a monitor stand. Since it does have the wireless charger and the USB hub, it is very convenient. I'm really happy with mine so far. I know it's not the most aesthetically pleasing monitor stand, but I think it does its job. I'm happy that it's black. It's really sleek, and I think it works really well in my setup, but there are wooden options like the Grove made, but for me, it does look pretty nice on my white tabletop. And yeah, I would be interested in seeing if more companies incorporate tech into their monitor stands rather than just it being a stand. I do like a wooden finish, but again, like I said, the matte black looks pretty good on my setup. Anyways, this could be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the description below, and I'll do my best to answer. If you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have my setup tour video almost finished. I'll probably have that out in a couple weeks. So yeah, hit that subscribe button if you want to know when those are out. I do have some programming videos that I'm working on as well. If you're interested in those or interested in programming in general, leave me some ideas of what kind of videos you want to see, and I'll do my best to work on those as well. Don't forget to follow my socials, as I am trying to post a little bit more on Instagram and TikTok. I'll have those linked in the description below. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one.